Hi everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Gaia and it's wonderful to have you here with me today. This is a safe space where you can explore parts of yourself that you have not explored previously. And in light of exploring things and aspects of yourself, today's video is going to be on the similar lines. I have taken up tarot reading and I am going to be reading a few cards for you. This is going to be a general reading where we'll talk specifically about logic, creativity, and specific areas or scope for your improvement. This reading is a general reading. It's going to be about um, how you can use your logic and creativity together to create a beautiful life for yourself, the life that you dream of. Along with that, we will also explore a little bit about any specific details regarding maybe your career or your intellectual side that you need to explore right now. We're going to be getting into that. I would like to let all of you know that I do plan on making a little more tarot readings on this channel based on the response that I receive. So please do let me know if you'd like more readings from me. I'll also be opening up a form that you can fill out if you want to book a reading with me. So watch out for that post as well. I'll be posting that information in the posts that I get in the community tab or the post tab on YouTube. So watch out for that. And before we begin, please like, share, and subscribe. Please head over to my Substack if you want to read some really good content. You can look at my Instagram if you want to DM me regarding anything. If you have a question regarding something, you want to discuss anything regarding um, one of my previous videos, that's okay too. My DMs are always open for you. I have a little extra makeup on today because I'm a little under the weather, but I still want to look presentable. So please don't mind if I cough or sneeze in the middle of the reading. I'll try to edit that out as much as I can, but I want to keep this one long reading at a stretch. So there's that as well. Before we begin though, thank you so much for your support so far. I really, really love every single one of you. And I am only here doing this because of your support, and I am forever grateful for it. Now, let's get into the reading. The first question we're going to ask is how you can use the logical side of you right now to better your life. What are the aspects of the logical side of you, the structured side of you, the more masculine side of you, if you will? I don't really believe in the masculine and feminine archetypes. I don't think that's how it is. I think we're all inherently both. So, the structural, more logical, more analytical side of you, what messages do you need to know for that side of you right now? That's what we'll explore first. We'll then go into creativity, after which we'll get into more general or specific messages regarding any career or intellectual messages or academic messages you need right now. Okay, interesting. So we've got the death card. I did a pilot of this video before I'm actually uploading this, so I did a pilot version as well, and I tried showing the cards, but you cannot see the cards properly, so I'm going to be putting up a picture of the cards here or here, one of the places, for you to see when I pull out the cards. We're gonna pull out 3 cards for each of these, and let's see. Oh my god, okay, there's a lot that you need to know apparently. I'm gonna take this as well. All right, so you've gotten 3 cards. So the first card is the Death card, which is a major arcana card. And the Death card, I think, is one of the best cards you can ever get in a reading because, in terms of analytics or analytical thinking, specifically for whoever it is that's watching this right now, even if it's a group of people or it's just one person who is watching this on their phone or whatever, if you're watching this, in terms of death, I think there is something about oversharing or like being overly emotional. You either used to be very overly emotional or you used to overshare with people a lot, and it's time you change that, or it's that you've already started changing it. You've already started to not become reserved, but you've become very choosy about the kind of people you want to be around. You become very choosy about the people you let into your life, you let into your mind as well. So I think with that card, it's definitely affirming that you've started to sort of change the person you were before. Your perspective also has changed regarding things. You had a very specific, maybe, outlook regarding how things should be. Say, for example, you believe that, okay, there are three ways of doing something, and you believe that out of the three ways that one could do the same process to get the same outcome, the process that you do is the best. So you would sort of maybe force people to follow your method instead of following their own. And that's something you've changed. Now you're a little more open to things, or either you're open or you need to be a little more open um, to um, different types of perspectives and different types of doing the same thing. You also need to be a little more open to perspectives, because I feel like you're not uh, you're not narrow minded, but you're just really closed off as a person. Maybe you're not looking into things with an open mind. You're not open to different perspectives. You're not open to listening to the other person's side of the story. If that's the case, you should, because I also feel that is connected to the over emotional or oversharing aspect of yourself. The reason you don't really listen to people is sort of because you feel compelled to sort of forgive them now that you've listened to their side of the story, but know that that's not the case. Just because someone apologizes doesn't mean you need to forgive them right then and there. If that does not feel okay with you, you can take your time, and you're not compelled to forgive them right then and there. I think it's about that. And maybe you're stuck, the logical, this analytical part of you is really stuck between this cycle of emotions and rationalization and intellectualization of those emotions. Imagine eating a pizza, for example, right? Eating a slice of pizza. And you're eating it, but instead of actually feeling the taste and the texture of the pizza that you're eating, staying in the moment with it, you're so invested in analyzing where it came from, or you're so invested in the method that it was cooked with. You're so invested in the restaurant it came from, the restaurant's hygiene, and all these sort of indirect connections to the pizza that you forget that you need to live in the moment and enjoy the pizza. So the problem here with the analytical side of you is that you're rationalizing too much, and it's a problem because you've that's what you've done your whole life. I feel you've just rationalized everything all the time, because of which you can't actually feel things, and if you don't feel it, it's not out of your body yet. So I think it's more about rationalization. And the death card that I've put up here, the death card specifically, I think for you, talks about this you need to let that version of you die. You need to let the version of you that rationalizes all the time, that overshares and overthinks all the time, you need to let that person die so that you can actually be the person who can enjoy things. You need to have your own time to enjoy the pizza, and the only way you can enjoy the pizza is if you stop thinking about all the indirect relationships the pizza has with certain places and things that have affected you in the past. But you need to remember that it's in the past, it's not happening right now. So you need to definitely, in terms of analysis and logic, you need to let go of the overthinking, overanalyzing, over rationalizing, over intellectualizing part of yourself right now. I'm not saying that's the person that needs to die and like never be resurrected. In times of need, sure, it can be resurrected, but it cannot be the dominant part of you that's controlling your life. Because if it is controlling your life, how are you even going to live if all you do is intellectualize and rationalize your feelings instead of actually feeling them, right? The next card that we have is the Magician. So now, mind you, out of the three cards that I pulled for you, two are major arcana. So there is I feel a lot of heaviness with you as well. The heaviness, it came from experience. It didn't come from like reading a story or like a book or watching a film. It came from actually living through that experience of maybe a certain type of pain or a certain type of trauma or whatever. And if you've been through a lot of trauma, I'm so sorry that you had to go through that. You didn't deserve it. You deserve a wonderful, full, happy life. But with the magician, the good part is, so when we talk about the magician, what the magician essentially does, essentially does is the magician always has all their tools, and they learn to create an experience from it with whatever little they have, and that experience is otherworldly. So the message for you, I think, here is that it's not, I mean, I personally don't believe the saying that, oh, God gives you what you need, not what you want. It's bullshit. I don't necessarily agree with it, because that statement is more often used in the wrong context to justify societal and systemic failures than it is used to help someone understand what hope and resilience looks like. So, putting that aside, I think you've been the kind of person who's had very little in life and you've made the most of it, which is a great thing. Not a lot of people can do that. So, kudos to you. Yay! But with the magician, it's a reminder for you that you are the creator of your life. Even if you have like just a hat instead of a magic wand, if you have like just a bark of a tree, you can still create something with it. And also, the things that you create don't need to be in alignment with someone else. The things that you create don't need to be understood by people who don't live your life. So, when you're, I think this reading is going to sort of force you to step into the version of yourself that can actually comprehend having all the things that you want to have. And with the magician, you're sort of being called to do that. I won't lie. There's so much in my head right now. I can't even comprehend it. There's so many things going on, which is so weird because I meditated right before this and I was completely okay. The moment I saw the magician card, it just went everywhere. Also, the magician is the first card. So you're always going to be number one, my gal, my friend, whoever you are, my girl, my guy, my friend, whoever you are. You're always going to be number one. There is no doubt. There is no doubt in my mind. And there shouldn't be in yours either that you would, if you'd be the number one person you want to be, because you are. And you need to see that regardless of the intellectualization, regardless of the overthinking that you do. Okay? Because if you don't see it, if you don't see yourself as the magician, if you don't see yourself as the creator of your life, the person who gets to have these things that they want to have, you will never actually be able to live that life. I think you're also stuck in a cycle of maladaptive daydreaming, maybe. Yeah, because there is so much that you want, and there's so much that you want to do, but you don't necessarily have the time or the energy to do it right now. And that can be a problem, and that's fair. That's completely fair. We don't always have the energy to do what we want to do. But you can start. You need to start bit by bit. Look, Rome wasn't built in a day, you know? You need time, and you have time. So you need to start every single day to build the life that you want. You know, if you wanted to be a magician, you probably can't get all the tricks ready in one day. Even if it's cardistry, you need to learn it, and cardistry takes time. Or even if it's, I don't know, the thing they do with the swords and everything, in the magic shows where they put the sword through the thing and there's a person in it, something like that. Even if you're going to do something like that, it's still going to take time. And also, being a magician requires an atrocious amount of strategy and logic, because everything is dependent on strategy and logic. The element of surprise that a magician can deliver to the audience depends on how much hype does the magician create around the act. It depends on how strategically well executed the act is. So this is not just about, creating your life. This is about you choosing to step into the version of yourself that already has these qualities, and you already have these qualities. If you can over intellectualize, rationalize, analyze, that means you already can analyze, intellectualize, rationalize, structure, create structured thought. You can already do all those things. You're perhaps just wasting your energy doing those things for outcomes that don't actually help you. So instead, why not channel all of those energies and qualities into things and outcomes that will actually help you create a better life? And the third card that we have that I put up here is the Eight of Cups. I think you're going to walk away from someone, something. Maybe you need to take a trip, or maybe you're going for a trip. The trip doesn't need to be like in a different continent or a different country. It doesn't even need to be in a different city. Maybe you just went to the outskirts of your city and you just stayed there for a day and you did sort of like a 1 day trip thing. It still counts, but you need to physically leave the place you're in right now for some amount of time so you can clear your head, because there's a lot going on in the place that you're in right now physically. So maybe it's your house, maybe it's school, maybe it's like the housing society you live in, or like maybe you take a certain metro or train when you go back home every day. But today, maybe you just take a different train and take a longer route or something like that. But take time out of your life to choose to be in a different place physically so that you can use that as a like sort of like an initiator to think for yourself and to just unwind. Because I also think all of this rationalization, intellectualization, all of this is a product of monotony, especially for you. It's a lot of monotony that you've experienced your whole life. And the monotony is not only in terms of the way you think, it's also in the things that you feel or the experiences that you have. If you want to have different experiences and different perspectives, you have to be open to different things. Going back to the point where I said that you need to sort of be open. You're not necessarily narrow minded, but you could be rigid to different experiences and perspectives. If you are, this is your time to sort of let that go. And you don't need to do it all of a sudden at all. You could just start by maybe taking a walk in a neighborhood that you've never been in before, or maybe trying a food dish that you've never tried before, something like that. If you want to have a new perspective, which I think you really need, you need to be open to trying new things and having new experiences. Even if you don't like the food that you eat, that you tried for the first time, that's okay. But make it a point to initiate that experience. At the end of the day, you are the person who is going to choose the experiences that you have. So I think you should take that time out of your life to give yourself positive, insightful, enriching experiences. So I think that's the part about logic. Now let's get to also about logic. I think you're sad, and I don't mean that in a mean way at all. I think you're sad in a way that you feel like no one cares about you, or no one has cared enough about you. I also feel like you want to be loved the way you love, and you've never received love the way you love. And that's so weird for me to say because there's no other way I can explain it. But that's just how it is, because you go out of your way for people, and you really show up for people when they're sad. For the people that you love, you really show up. But maybe you've just recently found out that the people you love are not willing to do that for you. And if that is the case, I my accent changed so much. I think that's also something you do. Not like an accent change, but something you consciously change a physical aspect of yourself when you're around people. Yeah, yeah, you could be doing that. You could be consciously changing an aspect of yourself when you're physically around people that you don't necessarily align with or are on the same wavelength with anymore. But I also think you have physical aspects of yourself that you do that are based solely as like a shield. for yourself. Sorry, I was sneezing, so I need a minute there. I was saying, I do think there's a physical aspect of yourself. Maybe it's your hair, maybe it's, the kind of tops or shirts that you put on, maybe it's nail polish. I don't know. Something about nail polishes that you change when you're around people that you don't necessarily always let into your life. And you don't necessarily always use that as sort of a barrier, but it's also just a legitimate protective shield for you. Maybe it's just that you carry a backpack with you everywhere you go instead of carrying like a handbag or something because it's like a protective shield. And if you're like that, completely valid. We live in a crazy world, completely valid. But you're using it maybe like a little too much or in a way, in a place where you could do without it. I feel like you don't want to get hurt, and that's okay. Nobody wants to get hurt. Being hurt is horrible. No one likes it. It's not good. But just because you don't want to get hurt doesn't mean you don't allow yourself to feel new things. That's why you're stuck in the cycle because you don't allow yourself to experience new things at the cost of being hurt, at the cost of feeling alone, at the cost of feeling left out. And it's not worth it, my love. Being alone is not worth any of the pain that you're going through. I would rather you experience things and still have heartbreak because that way at least you experienced a bunch of stuff. All right, the next question we'll have is in terms of creativity. So, the creativity that you have right now, how can you tap more into your creativity and what is it regarding the creative aspects of yourself that you need to improve? Let's see what comes up. I'm hoping cards jump out just as quickly as they did for the previous question, but we'll see. This is a messy shuffle, so I don't know. Let's talk about, yeah. Okay, it's a lot of cards. Oh my god. Okay, I'm just gonna reshuffle because it was too many cards. Whatever needs to come out, I think will come out. Ah. Oh, okay. It's so funny because I was doing a reading last night, and the first card that came out, it was the same card that came out yesterday as well. So that's quite nice. Okay. This is a really nice response from the cards. I like it. I mean, it doesn't matter if I like it. They're gonna tell me anyway. Okay, the first card that you've received for the question of how you can enhance your creativity, what you can do in terms of bettering your creativity in a way that will help you pivot in your life um, to have better experiences and to just have a better life. The first card you've received is the Nine of Pentacles, which is amazing. You're gonna be making money. You're gonna be cashing them checks, baby. You're gonna be cashing checks left, right, and center. I feel like you've been working very hard for a long, long, long time, and maybe you're wondering if it's all worth it. Maybe you're wondering if anyone even notices your effort. I feel like there are a lot of people who do, but they just don't say it. Either they're afraid of you, like maybe you're intimidating, or they just don't know you that well to feel like they can approach you. But I feel like a lot of people are watching you put in a lot of effort and they're rooting for you. I know I can tell, I don't know, the number 10 just, it's in my head too much right now. So maybe it's at least 10 people that really are rooting for you. They're just not saying it, but they're really rooting for you. Some 10 people, or maybe you were born on the 10th, or there's something about 10, and it's not an age. It's not age. There's something about 10. It could be the number of people that are rooting for you. 10 could also be your birth date. 10 could be any significant birthday. I feel like 10th of November could be significant, the coming November. I don't know why. It just could be significant. So if it is, if you have like an exam or something or whatever, all the best, just in case you need it. You need to show your creativity a lot more with the Nine of Pentacles because the more creativity you show, the more opportunity you'll have to make money from it. And you are going to have it. If you feel like maybe you're not making as much money as you need to right now, that's okay, because more money is going to come in and you're going to be self-sufficient. But I do want to say that regardless of the amount of money you're making, you need to constantly be investing. So you need to, I feel like you're going to have a lot of money. So, you have money, then you keep your money, and then you learn to grow your money. So I think you need to focus a little more on the grow your money aspect, because you have money or you're going to start having money. You need to learn to invest it in a way that it multiplies itself automatically in the background, that you don't really have to work for. I think also you need to have fun, whatever that means to you. You need to take a trip. If you haven't taken one in a while, you need to take a trip. And you need to maybe go out in nature specifically. You can do like adventure sports or whatever it is that you want to do, but make it a point to go out in nature. Make it a point to go and sit around trees or like birds or anything, and to just be there and soak it in, because I feel like you might have been doing a lot for a long time and you haven't had the time to really just sit down and absorb it and just exist. If you haven't, then take this as a sign to go on a trip and just be around nature. But don't worry, your money is going to multiply in terms of the kind of creativity that you show into the world. But you do need to show. I feel like you're not showing your creativity as much as you should be, because your visibility is the only thing that's costing you, quite literally, because the more visible you are, the more money you are going to be making. So if you aren't already like posting on Instagram or any social media, or if you aren't working on your visibility, this is the time to do it. And also the number 7 could be significant. It could be the end of the week, which is today. I'm shooting this on a Sunday. Maybe the coming week is significant for you, but the number 7 definitely is significant for you. It's not significant in a way like in terms of a time period. 7 could be like 7,000 bucks, or like an amount. Or if you sell maybe like some type of products, you could get an order for 7,000 things or 700 things or something like that. But 7 feels like it's something significant here. Also, 7 is sort of the number of completion, because 7 classical planets in the solar system, 7 classical notes. So I think the money that you're going to be making, if you've created a business or anything like that, the process of it is going to be completed. It's going to set the foundation for whatever it is that you want to pursue in your life. I think that's what it's about. The next card that you have is the Chariot. I love that every question, this is the second question I've asked, and for both the questions, a major arcana card has come out. The Chariot, I think you need to um, really work on physical movement, actually either working out every single day, or as I said in the earlier question, you need to actually go places and see things and experience things. But you need to be open to experiences. You need to move somewhere, somehow. Because if you don't move, you're going to remain stagnant. And stagnancy is what's keeping you away from the life that you want. And we don't want that for you. We want a happy, wonderful life for you that you've always dreamed of. So I do think you need to move. You need to initiate. You need to be consistent with whatever it is that you're doing. And you need to be very consistent with it, like really, really consistent. And you cannot depend on like, oh, I feel like I have motivation today, so I'll do it. You can't be like that. You need discipline to do this. You need to be disciplined in order to create the life that you want for yourself. And that's going to come from having that momentum every single day. That'll eventually turn into a lifestyle. But that is something you need to consciously put in effort into. So I do think that's something you need to look at. And maybe you need to balance out a little bit about your thoughts. As I said earlier, maybe every time you find yourself rationalizing too much, or every time you find yourself intellectualizing too much, take a breath and really assess if that rationalization or intellectualization is necessary at that moment. If it isn't, don't go ahead with it. But be very careful of the thoughts and emotions that you're investing in. Even if those thoughts and emotions are your own, you need to be very careful of what you're investing in, because that's going to cost you your energy, and in the long run it could cost you your physical, like monetary benefits like money. Because if you waste your energy on overthinking, that's an opportunity cost, as they say in economics. You, instead of wasting your energy in overthinking, you could have been putting that energy into maybe selling more products or creating content for your business or whatever, but you didn't. That could cost you money, and I feel like you could be doing that very, very often. So I think that's why it's an important message for you. I think you're pretty balanced as a person, though. This is just an aspect of yourself that is really facing a large imbalance, because of which all of this is happening. The next card we have is the Seven of Wands. I do think you're being rigid in terms of the perspectives that you have, the kind of structure that you follow, and you want everyone else to follow the same structure. I think the Seven of Wands speaks to it. You need to loosen up a little bit, seriously, because, okay, how do I put this nicely? You could be getting too defensive. If someone, say, didn't like what you said, or someone doesn't have the same opinion as you could be getting very defensive very easily. And that's not a good thing, because people are not out there living their life just with the purpose of offending you or something like that. That's not how it works. So if you do get defensive, which I think you might be getting, you need to reassess a little bit. You need to reassess the kind of thoughts you choose to give your energy to. But you may have challenges with the kind of business, the kind of opportunities that you want to pursue right now. But the good part is you still have people cheering for you. So you do have resources. Remember that you don't need to go through all of this alone. This is not, oh my God, I'm going to save the burning forest alone because no one's going to do it with me. That's not how this is. You can ask for help, and help will readily be available. You just need to make yourself open and available to the help you want to receive. Okay, so there will be challenges with the Seven of Wands, but I think you'll get over it. Just be structured, as we talked about earlier, with the cards in first question. Be structured, take it one step at a time, baby steps, but you'll get there. Just don't be the person that compares themselves to someone else's journey because of it, because this is your journey, this is your life, and you have lived it and you've been through all the struggles. So I don't want you to feel like, oh, I'm not just going fast enough, or when's my time gonna come. Your time is going to come, and you're gonna make a shit ton of money with it. You're gonna have the recognition, you're gonna have everything that you want. You're gonna have the family, the friends, the social life, the financial life, the monetary benefits. You're going to have it all. You don't need to worry about it, but you do need to be very careful of how you manage all of it. So be careful about that, and be a little more open to your intuition, specifically when it comes to the way you express yourself or the things you talk about. I feel like you might not be talking about enough things. Maybe you're the kind of person who immediately shuts down when they feel attacked, or when they feel like they're being questioned. That's all right. But try and develop healthy patterns for yourself. Become a little more self aware, because I also feel like you've been keeping a lot of pain inside you and you haven't really told anybody about it. That's why the Cups card showed up, the Eight of Cups showed up, because you haven't really talked to people and you haven't been speaking or expressing yourself. And if you haven't actually been expressing yourself or speaking, um, know that you're not alone. You can go seek therapy, you can find a friend, confide in somebody, write about it, I don't know, shoot a video about it, and you don't need to upload it. You can just look into the camera and vent if you want. Do whatever it is that you need to get it out of your system, because if you don't get it out of your system, you will remain stagnant and you won't be able to move forward, because it's all those emotions that are not a part of you anymore are going to be weighing you down unless you take off the weights. Okay, now the last question that we have today is how is the logic and the creativity going to come together, and how is it going to help you create the dream life that you want? How is it going to help you be a part of a career that you really like, or something like that? Okay. Wow, a chunk of cards fell out. I can't take all of them. There were like 10 of them. Oh my god, 10 again. I just realized there's something about 10. And 10 adds to 1. So have no doubt that you're a star. Alright. Wow, okay. Interesting. Let's see what else comes up. So we're gonna be talking about how your logical side and creative side can help you create a better life. If there are any specific messages regarding that and how they can help you in your career. That's what we're going to be talking about. That's what the cards need to answer right now. Let's see what's happening. This is a messy shuffle. Okay. I feel the need to get a clarification. I think there was a card that flipped here. Yeah. Oh, wow. Wonderful. So out of all the cards that have, I'll also take the one at the bottom. Out of all the cards uh, that have come out today, there are a bunch of them that came out last night as well, and I feel like that was sort of foreshadowing. All right. Okay, so the first card that we have is the Lovers. I am not surprised at this point that every single question that we've taken, at least one major arcana card has come out. I think it signifies that things are really going to be working out for you because your energy is genuinely that powerful, and your willpower, your dedication, your vision, your dream, what you want to do in life is really truly that powerful. I think you're going to have to choose. Sorry, the person who's watching this could have like a very prominent air or earth. Maybe you're an earth sign, or you're an air sign, maybe you're an Aquarius or a Virgo, or even a Libra maybe. Yeah. Anyway, you could also be a Gemini, but you could most definitely be an air sign or an earth sign, someone who has significant air or earth. It could be like a significant rising sign or something. Okay, so the first card that's come out for you is the Lovers. I think you're gonna have to make a choice, but it's not a choice between logic and creativity. It's really a choice between this business or that business. I think it's gonna be a choice between two different streams of income. One is going to be sort of like a short term, big money sort of investment, and the other one is going to be a long term, gradual investment. In the long run, maybe like in 10 or 15 years, it could be big money. But you may have to make a choice between two different types or streams of income. You actually may also have to make a choice between the kind of people you want to be around, or like the community. You may have to make a choice between the place you want to live in, like the city or the area that you want to live in. Because there's something about community and people here. Like, there's a little bit of toxicity. I can feel it. And it's not toxic in a very overt manner. You can't always see it. But it's a kind of toxic that, those people that are all smiley and giggly all the time and approachable, but they're really the kind of ones that will undermine your success. I feel like those kind of people could come your way in maybe the next 7 to 10 months, or 7 to 10 weeks, actually, even. And you'll have to be a little careful of those people, because those people do not have good intentions for you. They do not really care about you either. And also, you need to be protective of your business or your money or the kind of things you do. Do not go around oversharing your business with these people or with anyone for that matter. That goes back to the first message. You see? Don't do that. But whatever choice you make between the big money, short term goal but big money, and long term investment with big money, you will be making money either ways. You just need to, one of them is riskier. I don't know which one. The short term is also completely legitimate. Both of them are completely legitimate ways of making money, but one of them could be a little riskier, in terms of either investment, and this investment could be maybe in the stock market, or it could be, investing and buying up a shop or something, or like buying a piece of jewelry, buying some golds, something like that. But there's something definitely about it, and the risk factor is there, and it's there for the both of them, for both the choices you make. Be very aware of the people that you tell this to, and also make the choice with a very unbiased mind. Try and be very strategic and logical about this, because this is the money that will help you fund whatever life you want, or this is the resource, not necessarily money, but this is the resource that you can actually extract the energy to live your dream life. The next card that we have is actually the Four of Swords. And I think, oh my god, this was such an important card for this reading. I feel like this was, I feel like the deck was preparing me for this card through all the previous cards. You need to rest. There's a lot going on. And I said that earlier as well. You have a lot going on in your head. There's a lot that you're doing right now. You need to rest. You need to take your time and rest and breathe a little. Go on that trip, damn it. Go on that trip. Take a breath. Breathe some fresh air. I see like a lot of like the Western Ghats of India, the Maharashtra side, the Western Ghats, and the fog settled on the mountains, everything dewy, cozy, cold, something like that. Go there for a day. Don't use your phone. Just sit there and change your brain chemistry. Do it. You need it. With the Four of Swords, I think you need to let yourself rest for a bit. You need to sleep. You need to eat well. You need to watch good content. Don't doom scroll. Don't waste your energy watching things, doing things that are not going to benefit you. And trust that while you rest, there are gonna be people who are going to be taking care of you. They're gonna be looking after you. They will help you sort out your life. They'll help you sort out your problems. And even if you don't feel like you have people in the physical world that are doing that for you, there are definitely people in either in heaven or in the spiritual world, whatever it is that you choose to believe in, that are helping you. There are energies that are actually putting their time into helping you, and nobody else. That you are a priority for a lot of people, which is so sweet. It's so sweet. But you do need to take time to rest a little bit, to breathe, and honestly, meditate a little bit. Try and meditate and ground yourself so that you can truly understand what's going on in your mind, what's going on in your head, what it is that you need to pay attention to, how you need to prioritize, all of that. Now, coming to the next card. I told you about this. I told you about these people. We have the Seven of Swords. I'm telling you, someone's coming and they don't have good intentions towards you. And you need to stay the F away from these people. Someone could be stealing credit at work from you. They could steal your ideas. Someone could come into your life, and that someone is going to be the OG plagiarist. I'm not even kidding. That's just how it looks. And you can't trust this person. You cannot trust this person. It doesn't matter if this person is like your childhood best friend or whatever. You have not reconnected with this person in a while, and they don't have their good intentions towards you. So you need to be very careful of that, and you need to act strategically about it. You need to be very careful of the kind of information you provide people with. And this person, you may not know if this person is really there to help you or not. You may not be able to decipher that right away. Give yourself the time to think very calmly and strategically about it, and don't go about telling your business to anybody. I pulled 2 extra cards for this one because they flew out. The next is a wonderful card. It's one of my favorite cards of the deck. It's the Ten of Cups, which is wonderful. You're gonna have a very full life. As I said earlier, you're gonna have the dream life that you want with whatever type of social status, social life that you wanted, the family life, the finances, everything you want, you're gonna have. I mean, it's obvious, really. Also, you have support. You have a support system that you have not maybe come in contact with in this world, but there is one support system that you have that's in the spiritual world that is actively working just to make your life better. And in the next coming months, maybe 7 months or less, not weeks, maybe 7 months, you will find friends or people that are sort of like your tribe. You feel like, oh, they are my tribe. I want to hang out with them. People who actually show up for you. People that love you the way you love people. Yeah, yeah. Oh, that's what this was about. There are people that are going to come into your life in the coming months that will love you the way you love other people. And you will feel loved. That's so wonderful. I'm so happy for you. You may get asked out on a date, you may get a proposal or something of the sort. You may actually also become friends with someone who has a kid, and you may babysit the kid a lot. And if you do, allow yourself to be around the child freely, not irresponsibly, but freely. Let yourself be around the kid and let yourself also behave like a kid around the kid so that the both of you can be happy and silly. I'm really happy that you got the Ten of Cups. I'm so happy for you. The next and the last card that we have is the Eight of Pentacles. So, after all the money that you make, after the creativity that you channel, you will be making a lot of money, but this will also be the time where you need to learn to keep the money. And the way you're going to learn to keep the money is to just have tunnel vision, like a horse, like this. You don't look on either sides, you just stay focused. You have tunnel vision and you stay focused on your work, your job, and you keep working and working and working, knowing that you will eventually start pulling in that much amount of money. But you need to stay very focused. That also means that you can't let some idiot who does not have good intentions towards you ruin your energy, your mood, and your goal. You have to stay very, very focused regarding the kind of life that you want, regarding the kind of business and work that you're doing. You could either have your own business. I feel like you have your own business, or you're like side business or something like that. Even if you're working in a company or in an office or something, you need to stay focused and you need to do your job, because your job is going to speak for itself. Your achievements will speak for themselves. The results that you give, the outcomes that you deliver, they will speak for themselves. I do think that. So you need to really stay focused and be disciplined about the things that you want and show consistency in your work, but you need to work consistently and you need to stay very focused about it. So that was it for today's reading. Thank you so much for joining me today to listen to me give you this reading. If it resonated with you, if any part of it felt helpful, please do let me know. If you want more readings from me, do let me know about that as well. Please keep in mind that this was a general reading, so take what resonates, leave the rest. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.